Guess who's doing a video today? Me. Okay, so I thought about doing these, but if I do it in writing, it's gonna be very long, and so I'm like, why not do a video? So here we are. So 34 lessons. I just turned 34 a few weeks ago, and I figured as I grow, there are things that I'm learning and things that I know for sure in life. And as you grow, my mind shifts, I get different perspectives. But then again, as much as you're growing and you're changing, there's some certain things that are just constant. So I'm going to talk about some of those constant lessons that I've learned in my life. One, there are good people who genuinely do good without expecting anything in return. I know we've had people say there's nothing for free in this world. If somebody does something for you, they expect something in return. Men never do anything for free and all that kind of stuff. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But in my experience, I've had people do things for me, people be generous towards me without expecting anything in return, no strings attached. So I don't know, maybe the next time somebody offers to help, let them. I don't know, depends on the personality, I guess. Two, the first time is money is real. Back in Kenya, it kind of does not make a lot of sense. It kind of does and it doesn't. But I remember when, just after I gave birth to Tai, I was a stay-at-home mother. And so I decided to find ways to make money. And so I started working from home on the internet, and my time was precious. Like every single second counted. And that's when I really learned time is really money. And again, when I moved to this country, like that's so real. Like time is money. Three, be less judgmental. I'm a very judgmental person. But it's something that I'm trying to work on. I know I'm judgmental, and I tell myself, you gotta be less judgmental. Because I know there's a reason why people behave the way they do. There's a reason why people do the things that they do. And so coming from that perspective, I'm kind of learning to be less judgmental and try to understand why people do the things that they do. Four, appreciate people when they're still alive. So when I say this, I mean, I'll give an example. Like when somebody gets sick and they have a huge hospital bill, people will come together, fundraise to settle the hospital bill. When somebody dies, we want to put in money, give them a decent send-off. When they're alive, we don't do much to celebrate them, to appreciate them, to spend on them. So how about we shift that perspective and just tell somebody you love them, buy them a flower when they're still alive instead of putting a flower on their graveyard. So just appreciate people when they're still alive. Five, believe in people and give people second chances. You can have your instincts. Sometimes your instincts will just be like, no. But I have learned to keep an open mind and believe in people. But at the same time, you believe in people, but in a smart sort of way, and to give people second chances. Like I said, sometimes some people need to wake up and smell the coffee, and then they're like, okay, now I know. And sometimes some people just don't learn. So you gotta kind of use your smarts on that one. Six, blame people for all the bad and all the good as well. So most time I also catch myself being like, you don't do this, you don't do this, you don't do this, you don't do this. And talk less about what you do. So I learned that if I'm gonna blame you for all the bad that you did, I might as well blame you for all the good that you did. Well, not necessarily blaming you, but since we're blaming, let's blame for the good and the bad. It's a balance. Seven, be patient. Whether it's in situations, whether it's in just basically be patient. Like children can try your patience and can also teach you how to be patient. Thai has taught me to be patient, although my patience is not doing very well lately. But basically, yeah, children teach you to be patient, and you just have to be patient with people. Like, just be patient with people. But again, you can only be patient for so much. But bottom line, be patient. Number 8, give out some of your money. So, most of my life, and my siblings know this, I've always been, not always, but I've been the party that has been receiving the most. And so that kind of taught me, like, as much as I'm receiving, I also want to be the person that gives. So when I'm in a position to give, I give. And I get it, sometimes you're not in a position to give, and all you do in that moment is receive. But then you got to remember, when you find yourself in a position to give out some of your money. Number 9, which should have been the first one, my mother is always right. Like, always, like 99.95% right. In terms of, like, how I would feel like, yeah, I can make my own decisions. I know what's right for me. I have a good feeling about these. And sometimes it's just we are caught in a moment of being young and stupid, and we think we know it, when my mom, being experienced as she is, knows best. So you run something by her, she has a contrary opinion, but because I am so sure what I want to do is right, I go ahead and do it, and then things go south, and I learn, yeah, she was right. Like, there's so many instances, like, so many, my sisters know this is true. Like, so many, my sisters and brother, like, so many times when we've had differing opinions with my mom, but because we feel like we are right and we want to do it, and my mom lets us do it and learn from our mistakes, then we learn my mom is always right. So that kind of teaches us something. If I want to do something, I run it by my mom and she's of a different opinion, I kind of take a step back and think twice, because 99% chances are she's right. And number 10, family is everything. Oof, this is a big one. My family is the strongest support system I have. Like, all my life. And it has taught me to appreciate just family as a unit and uphold family values. And I think for us, it stems from how we were brought up. Like, we were brought up knowing family is everything. And my dad did so much to reinforce that and to make us see that, and not just hear it, but to make us see that in terms of how, we're there for each other and all that. And we just hope that our kids learn from us and they carry on knowing and living that family is everything. It really is everything. Number 11, having a child of my own is the best thing that happened to me. Yeah, and it's almost like being a mother saved me, because I don't know, sometimes you find yourself in other situations. I found myself in some situations and I took a step back and I was like, I don't know how I could have managed without Thai, like, literally. So sometimes it feels like Thai saved me. So that's big. Number 12, read a book. I mean, reading is so important. It changes your perspectives on things. And when it comes to reading, you don't even have to read like 20 books a year. All it takes is just spare like 20 minutes of your day to read. And it does not have to be a book. You can read a magazine, you can read a newspaper, just read anything. And reading, obviously you gain a lot of knowledge from reading, and it's a great escape. You kind of like get to live somebody's life, or like be in their life, be in the moment. It's just a great escape. opens your eyes to a lot of things. It exposes you. I remember this time I was reading a book set in Afghanistan, and I learned a lot of things about Afghanistan just from reading. So read a book. Number 13, look on the positive side of things. I know it sounds cliche, but I'm a huge believer of there's always a reason why things happen the way they do. And as much as it might be very upsetting in that moment, and you try to understand why things are happening the way they do, but at the end of the day, there's always a reason why they do, and I kind of try to look at the positive. However bad the situation is, I tell myself, this happened for a reason. There must be something in it for me. So it happened for me and not to me. And that kind of helps me get over things quick. I mean, obviously, I'll take my few minutes to mope about it, and then the perspective shifts. Number 14, you never know what you have until you lose it. Whether it's good friends, whether it's your health, whether it's your job, or just you just never know what you have until you lose it. And the easiest for me is health. You know how they say health is wealth? That is so true. And all it takes is something simple like a headache, a migraine, cramps, just when your body is not feeling 100% and all the discomfort that comes with it. And it just makes me appreciate being 100%, being healthy. I'm like, yeah, health is wealth. And number 17, your opinion is just your opinion. Sorry, number 16. Your opinion is just your opinion. Don't let anybody's opinion bring you down. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion. So you can have your opinion, I can have mine. It's just an opinion. Don't let it bring you down. Number 17, you don't have to like me, and that's okay. I know most times, I don't know if it's human nature, but I think people want to be liked or want to be loved, but that's not always the case. So if that doesn't happen, it's okay. We're different. You don't have to like me, but it's okay. And number 18, don't worry about stuff you have no control over. You can't control it, so worrying is not gonna change anything about it. And that kind of helps me a lot, like when I find myself in situations where things are not going my way, I have to stop and ask myself, can I do anything about it? Yes. Okay, then maybe I'll worry less and start doing something about it. Can I do something about it? No. Then worrying won't help anything. It doesn't mean I still don't worry. I still do. I'll be in like a few minutes of worrying about it, and then I have to have this conversation with myself, and it kind of helps me snap out of it. 19, prayer works. You do not have to be religious. You don't have to speak in tongues. In my opinion, prayer is as simple as when I wake up in the morning and I go like, oh, thank God I'm alive. Thank God for this day. When I come from work, I'm like, thank God. You know, just as simple as that, just thanking God for whatever it is. So you do not have to be religious. Just give thanks for what's going on around you. Number 20, having 3 friends is better than having many friends who are not right. Well, yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is having 3 friends is better than having many friends who are not really friends but more like acquaintances. And I don't have a lot of friends, and that's okay. Not good at making friends, and so I kind of stay with the few friends that I have. And my friends have been very reliable people, and I think that's why I don't bother so much about friendships, because I have these people who are my friends who I know if I call on any time they'll always show up. So I'm okay to have just three friends than having many friends who are not going to add any value in my life and who I'm likely not to add any value in their lives. So it's never about the numbers. Number 21, the world does not revolve around me. I still need to remind myself about this a lot because most times I think it's about me and what I want and how I feel. And so in that moment, I might be carried away and think about that. And then later, I'm like, but wait a minute, it's not just about you. So that's something that I've learned. And so I gotta keep having these conversations with myself to remind myself that. 22, change is growth. So you gotta do something different for your personal development. And people don't like change. Change is gradual, but it kind of helps you grow. It might be as simple as starting to read if you're not a reader. It might be as simple as starting to do workouts. And I'm not saying like go to the gym. It might be as simple as if I wake up, I'm gonna do 5 squats, 5 push-ups, 5 lunges, and that's it. Just do something that's gonna help your personal development. Number 23, honesty is always the best policy. My sister always tells us this. Like, be honest. It's always the best policy. However, how bad it might make you look, however, how bad it will make the situation, always the best policy. Lying is exhausting. You have to keep up with your lies and build up on it. It's just too much. Just be honest. Tell the truth. Maybe not the whole truth, but don't lie. 24. People leave and doors close. Don't struggle to keep them open. And I know this is sometimes you might want to battle with this. And like you want something, it's not coming, you struggle to have it, and everything is not just working out, and you keep going to make it work. Honey, if that door is closed, let it close. From experience, I'm also talking from experience. Like, obviously, when a door, so to speak, closes, I try to, like, when things don't go my way, I'll try to make them go my way. And then when they don't, I just stop fighting. I just let it go and be like, you know what? When one door closes, maybe another window will open somewhere. But no, leave it closed. Maybe that's how the universe wants it to be. Yeah, and people leave. Don't, like, let them go. 25. Create space in your life in terms of decluttering. Declutter your closets, declutter your phone storage, your friends, your thoughts. We are victims in this house. We need to declutter a lot. I mean everybody, like this, we have so much stuff, and I have so much stuff that I need to declutter. And it's just like 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, you've not used any of that stuff and you're still holding on to it. Declutter. Number 26, do something for you. I have learned this, but it's so hard for me to do it in terms of like do something for myself, treat myself, like I don't know, it's just, yeah, do something for yourself. Sometimes I try, but it's not my kind of thing. My doing something for myself is like just having me time, which I rarely get because you get less of that when you're a mother. But it's very simple things, like when I do my workout, that's my me time. Like when I start doing my workout, it's almost like I don't want anything to come in the middle of it. Like if it's 30 minutes, 45 minutes, I want to start 0 minute to 45 minutes and done. That's what I'm doing for myself. And other things like read a book, just sit on the couch, like just do something for yourself. Just depends on what you want to do and how you perceive that. 27, save some of your money. I talked about giving away some of your money. For as much as you give some of your money, as much as you spend and do whatever, save some of it for a rainy day. Number 28, do not sweat the small stuff. It's not worth it. Always look at the bigger picture. Number 29, let go and let God. Sometimes that's all there's left to do. Number 30, gratitude. This should probably be way up there. And gratitude is just being thankful for things that happen in your life. It might be as simple as when I leave the house and I come back home safe and sound. I'm like, oh, thank God I'm home safe and sound. When I wake up in the morning, thank God for a new day. Simple things like that. I'm like, thank God for my child. Thank God for John. Like simple things like that. Just be grateful. Thank God for my family. Number 31, soulmates are real. Yeah, I know stuff you read in books, stuff we watch in movies, but when you find a soulmate, then you'll know soulmates exist and they're real. Number 32, let kids make decisions. And I'm kind of trying to be good about this because most times it's just easier. Like, let me just do it. It's going to be fast and you're going to move. But I have to remind myself to let Ty be his own person and try to make his own decisions. Like, say we're living in the morning, going for school. I want him to put on these clothes. He wants to put on these clothes. And sometimes I'm just like, you know what, it's your decisions, do it. Or sometimes he's out playing and he wants to do something stupid and I'm like, don't do it. But he wants to do it. Sometimes I have to tell myself, you know what, let him do it. He's going to learn from it. And sometimes I'm like, nope, that's not going to happen. So it's a balance. Let kids make decisions, make their own decisions sometimes. Number 33, believe in yourself. Like, I'm learning to believe in myself more in terms of sometimes I have little self-belief. Like when I have to do some things, I'm like, I'm not sure I can do it. And it takes a third party to like believe in me. For me, like somebody to push me, like, John does this a lot. Like, you can do it, just somebody to push you to do it. And then you do it and you realize, yes, you can do it. So you just have to believe in yourself more. I have to believe in myself more and take my chances, believing that I'll do it. And number 34, make your own money. I mean, I'm talking as like a woman. It is important to make your own money one way or the other. Just have something for yourself. And I think that's pretty much it. And there's obviously some other things that there's so many things. Like 34 years is a lot of time to learn a lot of things. But then these are some of the things that are like constant. Even if I turn 60, they're still gonna make sense. And there's some of the things that like keep changing. The more you grow, the more you realize, you know what, that is not even important. But these are some of the things that are very constant, regardless of how old I am. They're always gonna be, true to me, and like my checking points of how I should be, appreciating and living life more. And that's pretty much it.